could hear it from all the way over there.
Hey, who is that? Oh, hi.
Hi.
We're going to start at 6 o'clock. I got the Willises with me. If you have any budget questions, any questions about how we stack dough as a family, put it in the chat. My little baby's playing Fortnite till 6 p.m. I think that's your boy on there.
Yeah.
I'm talking to Big Che.
I can't see.
Granberry.
Oh, this is milk.
Big Milk or Little Milk?
Big.
What? Get off of Instagram, Big Milk. Oh, he hung up.
Where?
Yeah, definitely I'm on it.
It's a weather.
You saw it?
It says live up there.
No, that's like a post.
Oh, it was here. Good to me.
Oh, you know what? I'm on the Amazing Corner page.
Yeah, many. Something like that.
You want to separate it? Guess not.
Oh, roller coaster sounds like it does. Did everyone that I hate out with the love?
Live?
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Oh, there we go. I'm shooting right in the camera. I should put some in my wife at the bed. All right, cool. We'll put that down. All right, JJ, cut that off at 6 o'clock.
Okay, one second.
So you can see the chat. If you guys can hear us, if there's anybody there, say hello. A couple people on here. How do I get rid of this page?
There's 3 things up top. See next to the Wi-Fi. Nah.
That ain't it.
Yeah.
I remember to go over all this one. There we go. I'll wait till somebody join. Somebody else in there. Who is that? Hey, Dania. Sharon's daughter. Wait till a couple people join
This
us.
is on YouTube. This is on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, the computer is on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And the phone is on Instagram. I feel like should we just go and save it? I wasn't going to save it, but
Yeah, I'll put.
save it. Keep going.
Save it.
All right. So if you are watching this live or later, we thank you guys for joining. And I feel like this one is dark. Sorry. There it is. That's better. All right, there we go. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Jay.
And you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Che as well.
Who are you guys to me? So people who are
I
watching
am
from my
Tanera's husband, and that's my son, Che Willis Jr.
Lucky, right?
Nice. Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
All right. So anyway, welcome to Breaking Bread with the Willises. This is our first time doing this. I'm not sure if I'll be able to rally them together to continue to do this, but I wanted to get the chase together so we can share. Oh God, it's my boss. Oh Lord.
Okay.
Lord have mercy. So we can share what we are doing as a family. So you can see we are unscripted and we're trying to be as natural as possible. We are unfiltered, and we just wanted to share what we are doing to stack dough. So little Shay's going to share a little bit. I'm going to share. My husband's going to share, and we're going to give a little bit of our testimony about us as we are on a journey to build wealth. We are nowhere near where we want to be, but we are far from where we started. Would you agree?
I agree, 100%. Yeah.
All right. So a little background on me. Again, I'm Tanera. I'm 43. Che and I have been married for 16 years.
Look at you.
Ow.
Yeah.
We have been married for 16 years. This year we will celebrate 17 years in August. And this is our little boy who is how old?
10.
He is 10 and he is our child author. So part of the Amazing Corner is to encourage, support, and inspire you guys to live the best version of your life. And for me, being financially sound is a part of it, being healthy is a part of it, and achieving your goal is a part of what all being amazing is to me. So that's how we got to the Potential to Stack Dough Challenge. As I shared in my live yesterday, as I am growing financially, growing spiritually, growing emotionally in my career goals, in my personal goals and entrepreneurship goals, I don't want to grow alone. I want people to grow along with me. So that's why I share as often as I do. So I grew up in the Center Project, teen mom, hustling father, inner city schools, poverty, drugs, gun violence, just like everybody else. Happy to say that even though we're not in that environment anymore, we learn so much from that environment, from that culture, from that community, from our family and friends. So it had its own purposes and richness to us. You want to share a little bit about your background?
Again, Che Willis. I grew up in Ardmore, the A. No, we're not doing that. Okay.
Don't do it.
So I grew up in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Again, like Tanera, grew up in a drug-infested neighborhood. If anybody knows about the 80s, then you know about the crack era. Grew up in that, saw a lot of different things within family, within neighbors, and different things of that nature that kind of shaped and molded me to not want to live or rear my child up the way that we grew up. And everything wasn't all bad in family or the neighborhood, but just what I saw in different things, I wanted to make sure that he didn't know anything about those things. So it's super important to me to make sure that we are financially sound to help us build the wealth that we're looking to achieve.
You got anything?
All I gotta say is my name is Che, and I did not grow up in a violent neighborhood.
Amen.
That's great. Very good.
Awesome.
Very good.
All right. So the purpose of today is to share some tips. So I wanted to encourage you, if you are watching, to grab your pen and paper. I was going to share some things that I have been learning about grants, funding, scholarships. Che can share a little bit about the apps that we use to help build our finances and to do our monthly budget. So if you're watching this, I just saw Good Morning America, and some of you may have seen it as well. If you go to bigfuture.collegeboard.org, they are giving away $40,000 every month to 2 students. So I would encourage you to look into that to see if that's something you can apply for. And then also go to scholarships.com. And I like to share some things like that because when I was in college, one of the reasons I did not go initially out of school is I thought I didn't have the funding, the resources, or the financial support. And then I wound up needing loans. And there are tons and tons and tons of scholarships. You do have to do some work, you have to do some research, and you do have to spend some time, and it can be overwhelming. But what I would encourage you is to maybe write down a list of 10 and just try to do a few, once a week. But there's tons of funding out there, and there's tons of companies out there who want to fund college and things like that. So that's one of the things I wanted to share. And the other thing I wanted to share is for entrepreneurs. There's so many businesses that will sponsor your nonprofit organization or who have grant funding for entrepreneurs. So I'm currently planning an event. So this is why I'm in this space, and I have found tons of resources, and I'm in that process of applying to many of these. But Walmart has a giving site for organizations, events, activities, and nonprofits. Same thing with Target, Chick-fil-A, Dick's. You can also go on cybergrant.com, which is a website that a lot of those companies use to help you apply for it, as well as Edge Grant, which is a grant in Delaware. They are giving away grants to Delaware women entrepreneurs. I found out that FedEx is doing some sponsoring and funding and grants. So is AT&T. And I also got a big email, and I think a lot of people got this email a couple weeks ago. If you are registered with the Cornell EDU, the Office of Supplier Diversity in Delaware, or many of the other, there's a whole list of grants. So if you're interested, you're watching this later, shoot me an email at contact@theamazingcorner.com, and I will shoot you that list. It literally was at least 30 plus companies and organizations who are looking to fund different diverse organizations and companies and business persons. So Che, it's on you as far as budget app or financial apps.
Yeah, so the budget app that I use, or that we use currently, is called Every Dollar. It is on iPhones as well as Android. So basically, this has helped us to get our money under control. I think the common, anybody who does a budget, the way that they do it is, okay, well, I know I'm making this. I know I have this coming out, and the rest is basically play money. So if you make $5,000 for the month, and then you have $4,000 in expenses coming out for that same month, then you have $1,000 to play with for groceries and different things of that nature. The app basically holds you accountable for whatever you plan for, whatever you're budgeting for that month. Then as long as you enter it in, it'll communicate to your spouse or your partner of what they spent, when they spent it. And it just holds you accountable, and it allows you to not overspend as long as you are working the app.
Real quick, I was just gonna say we've been using it for about 3 years.
I think a little longer than that, but it's been a while.
Okay. And I wanted to share that because a lot of these apps, they'll start off free, but you can only use it for 30 days or 90 days, and the next thing they are charging you. So you do get a large portion of the app. There are some paid services. We have not needed them in the app, but you do get a good functioning and good capabilities and outcomes from the free version of the Every Dollar app.
Correct. Yeah. So the one paid version is if you swipe your debit card, it'll automatically log it into the app for you. But I think they charge you $1 or $2 a month, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but we don't use that because I want to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable to log everything that I'm doing.
And it makes you look at it and see what your remaining budget is, or how much you have, or whatever. Yeah. Go ahead, babe. Sorry.
No. I was going to say, so we use it specifically to pay down the last debt that we have, which is our home. And we're aggressively paying that down. You can use it for paying off debt. You can use it for vacations. You can use it for whatever your goal is. You can use it for that specifically. We are using it to pay off debt. You can use it for whatever you want to,
whatever financial goal.
Correct. Yeah. So, and also I do a class once a month on IG. I throw it out there. Hey, I'm doing a budget class. This date, this time. If you want to join, I don't need any of your personal information. All I need is 30 minutes of your time. It doesn't cost anything. And then you join the class. I send you the Zoom information, and then we do the class together. I'll show you how to use the app, how it's helped us. And then if you have any personal questions that you want to ask, you can ask, and then I'll answer to the best of my ability.
And did you already say it's 100% free?
Yeah, it's free.
There's no expectation to buy anything. Yeah. He does it free. He felt led to do that, and he's been doing it for how long?
Man, probably 6 to 8 months, something like that. It's been a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the participation varies. Go ahead.
I would say probably like 8 months.
Yeah, it's been a
I
while.
think you know stuff. So I encourage you to make sure you're following Che at Che.Willis on that's right?
Instagram.
Che.Willis on Instagram, and he will post when he's doing the next budget class. Again, you don't have to share any of your financial information. You don't have to buy anything. There's no pressure. There's no advertising or anything. He is just sharing what we do and sharing how the budget has worked for us. Let's skirt back. So the budget has not always worked for us. We've been married 16 years, as I shared in the beginning, and we had our finances totally separate. We did have we would have financial goals together, things we would want to pay for. So we would save a certain amount in a joint account, and also in a savings account and education account for Che. And we also had we had assigned bills, I think, to kind of create thing. But I think we decided that we were going to finally merge our finances. And one of the things about merging, we had to make sure we both trusted and respected each other in those conversations. When we first talked about it, I needed a couple months to get myself together and go on a little splurge, which he was okay with. What did it say? He be knowing stuff. Oh, that's your Aunt Lena. So I told him, give me a couple months, get myself together, my mind right and my heart right and spirit right, because it does take being on one accord, great communication, consistency. The first couple months I was kicking and screaming.
First year or two.
No,
Let's keep it real.
He's exaggerating. But it wasn't fun for me in the beginning. Just growing up as an independent woman and always making my own decisions and not having to check in with my finances felt a little uncomfortable to me in the beginning. But I definitely have seen the benefits of it as a family and individually. One of the first things I was like excited about is when I was in college at the time, and we were able to pay for college courses in cash. When I was doing it on my own, I was getting loans and looking for grants and using employee funding. So that was one of the first moments. Since then, just to share how it's worked for us, when we decide we want to do a house project, we find out how much it's going to cost by goals, and then we find out how much we can save every month towards that, and then we just keep adding to the budget. And we put it in a separate account until we can achieve that goal, and we try our best. I don't think we really waver from it once we agree on it. Right?
No, not at all. Yeah, so basically what it does is it just basically just gives you a roadmap to whatever we're talking about potential to stack dough. This is the way we do it. And you first have to decide that, hey, I can do it and believe that you can do it. And then you kind of reverse engineer. So, all right, I need $5,000 towards this house project, and it's going to take me 12 months to do it. So then you break it down, what you would need in your budget per month to put away to make that $5,000 goal happen. And then you put it away into an account and make sure that you don't spend the money. So that's one of the ways that's the only way we do it. And it's worked really well for us. A lot of my friends and some family or whatever the case may be, tell me I'm cheap or whatever the case may be. But if I don't have the money in the budget to do it, then I'm not going to do it. And I'm not wavering from it because it's worked for us to this point. So why move away from what's working? It just doesn't make any sense.
And that's good, because you will get some family peer pressure. You will have some friends who want you to probably do some of the things you used to do. And when you're planning either singularly or with a spouse, it doesn't work like that. If you're going for a goal, you have to be consistent. You have to deny yourself some of those moments of immediate gratification. Maybe can you talk about maybe the cars or the pool or something like that?
Yeah, it's the same thing we just talked about. So we figured out. So we did some house projects. We did a car for my wife. Where we paid cash for the car. It took a while to get there.
I was going to say, you got to tell them about
it took a while.
I was getting a little bit anxious and a little bit fed up.
A little bit anxious now. So every 3 or 4 months or so, I would get a call. Hey, I hate this car. This car stinks. It got a rip in the seat. I'm like, okay, cool. Hey, listen, we have 10 grand in the account. Let's go take the 10 grand and we'll go get you a car that you can pay for cash, no problem. And then I shut that down. She stopped talking about it. Then another couple months, and it went on and on and on. So if you're the person who is the saver of the group of you and your spouse, then you got to kind of stand pat of what you guys both decided that you wanted to do. And if you get those phone calls, okay, cool. Well, let's take what we have, and if you want to buy a car with that, then that's what we'll do.
Good. I don't want to leave the single people out, because that's the same thing if you're going through, saving for yourself for a home, saving for yourself for a car, if you're saving for a business goal, or you're working with a business partner, to kind of have that accountability and stop those impulsive moments, because there were impulsive moments or anxious moments.
Sure.
And we kind of engaged Che in it because Che wanted a pool. And he had to know we can't start saving for a pool until mommy gets her car, right? So it's kind of like a process. So that engaging him helps him to kind of learn that you don't get things instantly. You save for them, ways you can actually afford them and pay for them. So we encourage you to definitely get your kids involved. And then that kind of circles back to Che and what he's doing with the kids. Is that open to the general public, or is that too broad?
Just a couple friends and family, but. So basically,
even if it was personal, you had
already said it. But he could say it's not. If he doesn't have the bandwidth, is more so what I was worried about.
Yeah, it's fine. So basically, once we figured, hey, we're good financially, we have our plan in place, and once you get your finances in order, whatever your situation may be, then it'll allow you to make sure that others are good. Other family members, other friends, your kids, and then they'll see what you're doing, and you'll be able to show them, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is work for us, and this is how you do it. So when they grow up, then they'll have an idea of how to operate their finances and not have to try to figure it out through other avenues. So what I do with Che, and I do with a couple of his friends and his cousins, is we talk about, we do 5 questions pertaining to investing, pertaining to entrepreneurship, or just doing chores around the house, whatever the case may be. And once they answer the 5 questions, then they get to invest in, $25 to the stock of their choice, and to start their investment portfolio. And the good thing about it is it's teaching them to invest, because in order to be wealthy or stack dough or stack multiple doughs, that's even a thing. Then you have to have
stack dough multiple ways.
Yeah, you have to have your money working for you, and the only way to have your money working for you is in investing it some sort of way. So I wanted to make sure that I got them doing that early. So once they hit high school, once they hit, their corporate job, or if they wanted to go into business for themselves, they would have an idea on how to do that and be able to hopefully pay cash for it and not have to, get a loan or whatever the case may be. Because we don't want that, because it takes away from your profits. But
all right. So we talked a little bit on different ways to stack dough. One of them is not getting school loans, using employee funding for education, or researching some scholarships to get as much funding as you can get if your child doesn't have academic or sports scholarships. We also talked about different companies who sponsor nonprofits, small businesses, or diverse business companies. And then we also talked about how we save money, or how we budget, our budgeting process every month. So I wanted to move to Little Che, because you've been kind of quiet. So one other way to stack dough is to get yourself a product. I would encourage everybody to get some kind of product. I think like a month ago, and not a month ago, a year or so ago, I checked in with my sisters, and I'm like, I'm about to have this event. Buy yourself a product so we can sell and we can all get this money. So there's so many different products that you can get out there. And I know everybody does not want to be an entrepreneur or a business person, but it's a good way, even if you're doing it temporarily to get a goal, to set a goal, a financial goal, to get some type of product and sell it and get extra monies. I've talked to a lot of single women throughout the month, and they have all said things like, I don't have any extra money. So they're looking for different ways to save money. Yes.
Didn't you just say we've been a little quiet?
Yeah, go ahead. You want to talk? Yeah. Go, baby.
Go ahead, talk. bro.
You could finish about what you were saying, but I'm just
I
saying.
was leading up to it.
Go ahead, ask him
Oh,
the
no.
question. Boy, stop cutting your mom
So
off,
my
bro.
question is, tell us about your product and how you earn money, raise money, save money.
So I have a book called The Amazing Redhead's First Adventure, and then so I sell it for $12, and like a lot of people have like kids when they go to the pop-up shop, so like the kids want to buy it, and then I also have coloring books that I sell for $8. And then we give them free crayons, and then usually I get paid $5 an hour. But if we get over like $700 to $600, I'll get paid $8 an hour.
Good. And what do you do with that money?
Some I'll spend, some I'll save, and I'll invest with the money that
And you miss
some I'll save, spend, and invest.
And what we do at church?
It tithe.
We give our tithes and offering. So that's something we instilled in him. That's something Che and I, we did before we even got together. And we have consistently do. We tithe and we give to different organizations consistently. So we're instilling that in Che. Let me see. Sorry. Oh, hey, welcome. We are instilling that in Che. So he talked about, he has a book. That's actually how the Amazing Corner started. It started with me trying to encourage him and share his book called The Amazing Redhead First Adventure. And that has snowballed from one product to, we've had over 20 products over the last 2 years.
We started with 0, and now we've got like, I'm not gonna count. I'm gonna say at least probably
30. So, buddy, what thing do you want to ultimately do for yourself when you become an adult? Talk about that.
Oh, I want to make a TV show, and some people get like millions of dollars doing that. So that's what I want to do.
So one thing that I'm excited about, and something that you can do for your kids as well. So we're teaching them multiple different things. We're teaching them how to save. We're teaching them how to invest. And then when he goes to the pop-up shops with his mom, she's teaching him how to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he's not going to be selling books and stuff like that when he grows up, possibly, he will learn how to sell maybe his TV show to a network.
That's right.
So it's teaching him multiple different layers of things that he's going to need once he becomes an adult and achieves his goal to
he's
sell
also
his
learning
TV
customer service. He's learning how to deal with rejection, because that's something you didn't like, right? You don't really like when people say no or ignore you. And that happens at the pop-up shop every single time, right? And what I tell you, or how do we deal with that?
Just get over
it. And everybody's not our customer. Everybody's not your buyer. Just
not
keep being
everybody has interest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he's learning a lot of life skills through that, and he's grown so much. He's gotten more comfortable asking people to buy his product and to share his product. We're still working on him to share in Spanish. So we need encouragement. All right. So you talked about what you do with the pop-up shop. Daddy talked a little bit about what you do with the budgetary meetings every month or the stock meetings. Did you want to add anything about the stock meetings?
So usually we get like $25, like my dad said. So what you would want to do is like save it first. Well, you want to invest, and then you want to save, then you want to spend, and you actually know you want to tithe, then you want to spend.
Mm-hmm. And you want to let it grow, right? The stock?
Yes. Or you could just invest, tithe, and save.
And not spend, right? Because you want to let it grow for a long time ago. So long time so it can gain more interest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, was there anything else from little Che? Oh, chores.
Oh yeah. Some parents don't pay their kids to do chores. Like my mom said yesterday, they're just like
an expectation.
They're just an expectation, but I get paid for it. But I'm saying a way you can ask your mom or dad possibly if they could if you could do a part of their weekly chores, like I'm part of it, and see if they could pay you some money for doing their chores. Because if you do part of their chores, they might pay you because they usually have you do stuff that's less complicated, and they do the more complicated stuff.
Mhm.
Like I just take out the trash and refill the toilet paper and stuff, and then
You want some
my
more stuff?
parents.
Because you're getting
No,
older.
no.
So we can,
No.
We need plenty more, bro.
Yeah, it's time to raise it up. Let me know, y'all, if we should increase his chores.
So I also get the mail, and anyways, my parents and I vacuum,
Good job, baby.
and my parents they wash the dishes,
Cool.
they fold clothes. You're supposed to cook,
Yeah.
so that doesn't count.
All right, so the point is to invest some of the money if you are getting money from your chores. Yes, you can do some fun things. Che likes to buy video game, V-Bucks and
V-Bucks, Robux.
yeah, and he also likes to buy food. And I'm always
Yes.
saying you cannot spend all your money on food.
But I work out though.
It's not about the working out. But the point is, when we try to find a balance, we definitely want him to enjoy his life. We want him to enjoy the money that he's making because he has multiple streams of income already. But we also want him to learn saving, tithing, investing, and giving. How you think you're doing?
Good.
How you think
I think he's doing good.
All right.
How do you think I'm doing?
I think you're doing amazing.
Yay.
All right, so I wanted him to share some of that just to encourage you guys. If you're, I know most adults are not watching with their kids, but I encourage you to maybe fast forward to this post and let Che encourage your kids to be amazing, and to do whatever it is that God has planned inside of them. And as a parent, I would say whatever you see in your kids, invest time in that. Invest, how do I want to say, like help them nurture that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say for Che, definitely creativity is his thing. Again, we're not sure that he's going to be an author, but he tells elaborate, long-winded stories all the time with lots of details and lots of creativity and fun and excitement. So we know there's going to be storytelling in some way. He's been saying TV director. Go ahead.
Tell him about the summer project you want us to do.
So Che wants to do the TV show. So I figured it would be a fun summer project for him. We were driving home from school one day, and I thought it would be a fun summer project for him to write a script of whatever his show, whatever he sees his show being, and then write a script, and then me, his mom, and maybe his cousins can kind of act it out, and then post it on.
He can direct it.
Yeah, he can direct it and tell us what he wants us to do.
Cut.
Tell us what he wants us to say and things of that nature, and that'll help again nurture that idea and that dream that he has.
Auntie Lena gonna have to act it out too,
and see if that's something that he wants to do, because I think a lot of people, like, you go to college, and a lot of people go to college and they say that they want to do something like in communications or whatever the case may be. Then when they graduate, they end up not doing whatever they went to college for. So this will be kind of like an internship for him to see if this is really what he wants to do. And we're going to nurture that thing. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we're not wasting time. He's not wasting time doing something that he ends up not wanting to do. So this will be a good little training session for him.
Cool. All right, so we will wrap up soon. I'm trying to think what else we were going to talk about. Investment properties. I think that's something important to kind of talk about and share our journey. We started with 1. I think we're at 4 now. Our first investment property. No, not on the not on the Dave Ramsey Debt Never Again program is what he's referencing. But we were talking about investment properties. We bought our first investment property in the city of Chester. It was less than $30,000. I forget the exact amount. $23,500. That's my numbers guy. And we got a loan for that. He's anti-loan now. I'm still like loan within reason and paying it off super fast. Because I think that's how we started. Like Right now, we are able to save up until we can buy the next property. But back then, we didn't have an extra $23,000 to save. So again, we encourage not gaining debt if you don't have to. But from my point of view, and Jay, you could definitely interject. I think if you can do a small amount and pay it off quickly, I don't think that's a bad idea. But just make sure that you can manage that extra debt and that you have the resources to kind of like pay extra every month, so you're not paying interest and you're not having a lot of debt. So
I would say no. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think if you, like we talked about earlier, if you know how much you need for a specific area in a neighborhood that you're looking to buy, then I would, again, reverse engineer it. If I need 30 grand, how long is it going to take me to save that 30 grand? Can I pick up an extra job? Can I pick up an extra shift? Can I sell products on the side? Can I do something that's going to help me generate that income to be able to buy what I want later on? And at the end of the day, it's going to save you a lot of money in fees, getting a mortgage. Oh man.
Yeah, and then I just saw on the news a couple months ago, it was 4 siblings. They all saved $1,000 a month for 4 years, and they bought properties. And then after that, they just kept flipping them. So that was inspiring. So even if you can't do it on your own in the time frame that you want, maybe you can partner with someone to do that.
Yeah. So yeah, just you, again, everybody's an adult. You do what you want. But that's what, again, it's worked for us. So I don't want to deviate from something that's working for us. So that's why I say don't do it. But if, again, you do what's comfortable for you and what works in your home. But yeah, you'll save a lot of money.
So the last thing I have on here is refinance, but I learned something just yesterday when Che and I were brainstorming on what things we would share, that this might not be the best time to refinance. So I want to put that disclaimer out there. But I would say definitely look into, if you don't have a good interest rate right now, if you got your loan years ago, I might have had a higher interest rate when it was more of a buyer's market. Now it's more of a seller's market. So I would investigate to see what that looks like and talk to some professionals who can, advise you on that area. Like, if is this a good time to refinance? And the reason I wanted to share that, because I feel like we've had a couple experiences where we were able to save a lot of money through refinancing. So our first home that we purchased together, we had a balloon payment. So if you don't know about that, that's when you have a large amount of a big payment you have to do towards the end of your loan after a certain time frame, where we would have to pay off. It was a crazy amount that we may not have been prepared to pay at that time frame, but we didn't know. We had a 95.5, I think it was.
It was an 80-20.
80-20. Yeah. So that means we didn't have a lot of money to put down on our initial house, and we got this type of loan to help us get there. But the 20% was a balloon payment. And it was a little crazy. Go ahead, baby.
I said number.
Yeah. No, hey, listen, man.
So, so if you have that type of payment, I would look into refinancing options. And that, again, if the market isn't right for that right now, the market's a little volatile or unstable, then maybe revisit that in 6 months. But start to ask questions, start to do research, know what circumstances you are in. And then the second circumstance, I would say, was it last year we refied this house?
Yeah, shout out to Lori Hayes. She's the one who said something to me. Lori, if you're listening or you watch later, shout out to you. She's the one who encouraged me to look into refinance. She was like, "Yeah, I got this crazy rate, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Really?" And the rate that we got was I think it was 1 or 1.5% lower than what we're paying now. And I went to my man GT. I don't know if he wants me to say his name on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, but because he said no. So my man GT, you know who you are. But shout out to Lori again. She encouraged us, and I looked into it. I reached out to my man GT, and we were able to save a bunch of money. And we got our loan down from a 30 to a 15-year loan. That'll save you money as well. And because we were aggressively paying down our mortgage at the time, before we did the refinance, we were able to pay less money than we were paying before at the 30-year mortgage. So,
all right. Well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nah. Thank y'all for watching. Hopefully, somebody learned something. If you want to learn more about budgeting, again, doing the class found people thousands of dollars that they were spending money on that they shouldn't have been spending money on, different services and different plans and things of that nature that they shouldn't have been spending money on, encouraging people to save money for college for their kids and different things of that nature. So if you're looking to do something different and get different results, I would definitely encourage you to join the class.
And how do they find out about the class?
So Che.Willis, CHE.WILLIS. I'm doing a class next Monday at 7 p.m. It's only 30 minutes. Doesn't cost you anything. I don't need none of your personal information. But if you want to join.
And that was a
free.
trick question because I wanted to make sure you ain't tell nobody slide in your DMs.
I would never. I'm a married man.
Bring the alarm on that.
Oh, stop.
So
Crazy.
I just want to make sure. Don't slide.
You don't have to make sure.
Don't slide in my.
Listen, just keep going. Go.
Oh, okay.
Wrap up.
Stop. But all right, what you got to close out, bud?
Oh,
Encourage them to stack some dough. Show them your shirt. Ow. Oh, Lord. So graceful. Oh, he's so handsome. All right. Can you give us a money saving dough stacking tip, please?
Invest. Make sure you invest in something you like. When the market is down, that's when you should buy more. And invest to at least like 5 to 4 different stocks. So when one is down, probably the other one is down too. So you want to invest in one of them. And then the other one will probably go up later.
Definitely go up later, especially if it's a good company that you believe in. Yeah.
Like Cintas.
Bam. Yo, we up.
And what about
And the Moors.
Did you want to tell them about the Roblox stock Shay bought or no?
No, he bought it when he bought it. I think it was maybe $80. Then during the downtime, it went down to I think 40. Now it's back up to 50-ish. So right now is a good time to buy because I think it's going to be good. But I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not. So I'm just telling you.
We just share what we're doing as a family.
Yeah. So.
All right, and my last thing is for entrepreneurs. If you do not have certification, I would encourage you guys to apply to be a certified small business, apply to be a certified Black-owned business, woman-owned business, veteran-owned business. There's so many opportunities and resources once you become certified. You can go and be certified for free. So I would say be careful because when I was first doing my searches, I was finding so many different places that you had to pay for it. So in Delaware, you can go to the office of supplierdiversity.com and apply for certification. And again, it's free. It takes a little bit of time, but it's worth it. Since I've applied, I've got so much information about grants, about courses, about government contracts and things of that sort. So I'm kind of still new to it, but immediately I started to get information and people reach out to me to add me to their business directories. So I just wanted to share that peaceful, helpful information. And that's it. This is the Willises. Thanks for breaking bread with us. Again, we hope we share something to help you grow your family, grow your finances, and help you to stack dough and be amazing. And then I sing the jingle.
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
I just wanted to sit down there.
So anyways, you better break that bread, guys. You better get some investments because if you don't, you're going for credit. And then, yeah. Love y'all.
Thank you. Good job, son, baby.
Sure.
I can't ever figure out how to stop this one. Good job, guys. Thank you so much. I still didn't end this one.